Hey there, NFA tribe. Do you want to amplify your money magnet powers? I don't think I've ever met anyone who would say no to this, but what does it actually take? That's what we're going to talk about today on this solocast episode number 78, 6 tricks to magnetize more money your way. I'm super excited for this because you all know that I love talking about money, and I also am really enjoying doing longer solo casts. Every week when I do the 10-minute release, it's because IGTV only allows 10-minute videos. So I keep those to 10 minutes so that I can have a release on IGTV. It also goes out on YouTube, and then comes here to the podcast. And so my team and I decided it would be awesome to start having a longer solo cast every 3 or 4 weeks in replacement of one of our guest interviews. So, one of my big conversations is around money. So that's what I wanted to talk about today with you. First, I'm starting a new gig with reviews and subscribing to the channel. This is going to be really fun. So your feedback is what keeps this show going around the world. It's what keeps me inspired to be here. It's what keeps the impact. Your reviews are what really matter because it moves us up in the rankings on iTunes. And I really want to start amplifying the impact of the Max Potential Habits podcast. So I've set up a raffle. I want you to, if you've been a loyal listener and you're liking the tips that you get every week from the inspirational interviews, all of the strategies I bring to you, I want you to go to iTunes and leave a review. If you don't have an iPhone, it's really easy. Go to Google and type in iTunes review, and it gives you a step-by-step directions. It takes less than 5 minutes, and it would mean so much to me, and it would help more people hear this podcast every week. So for the raffle, what I want you to do is leave a written review, a 5-star rating, subscribe to the channel, and then take a screenshot and email it to mphraffle@nfacoaching.com. That's MPH for Max Potential Habits, raffle at nfacoaching.com, and I'll enter you in every month. I'm going to start doing a raffle. It's either going to be a giveaway of some books that I love that have helped me along the way, or I might just do a gift card, and that would be really awesome in terms of thinking about money magnetism. So if you're feeling inspired, that would really help me out and be just awesome to help us amplify our reach in this group and in this community in our NFA tribe. All right, let's get to it. As I said, you all know I love to talk about money transformation. As I've been working with more people over the last couple of years in my coaching, I've been in business for 1 full year. 2019 was my first full year of business, and I'm starting to learn more and more about what kinds of people I'm attracting to NFA coaching as clients, and what I'm really skilled at doing, and what my greatest inspirations are. So in the process of clarifying what you love to do, part of it is this kind of testing stuff out, falling down, failing, refining, getting up, working with different types of people in different industries, all of that. As you know, if you've taken on a lot of businesses in your life, or you've done a lot of different projects or adventures, you know that the process of clarifying happens by testing things out and then figuring out as you go, what do I love to do? And I recently on my website, nfacoaching.com, just changed the the first little statement that's on there to no fucking around business accelerator coaching to help you train your mindset, heal your money blocks, align your habits so you can be a wealthy entrepreneur. And then I have hashtag NFA Manifestation Master. So I love this because to me, what I really do with people is help them train their mindset. And a big thing has been healing people's money blocks. And when I say healing money blocks, it's because it's something that I've had to do for myself. I had to train my mindset to get out of victim mode. I healed my money blocks through a whole bunch of work strategies, shifting my values, things I'm going to give you today, strategies, tips, and tricks to give you a direction to move in if you're stuck in the money world, which I have never met anyone who isn't. I don't care if you make $5 an hour or $1 million an hour. We all have money blocks. There's wealth shame, there's fear, there's doubt, there's insecurity, there's worry, there's anxiety, there's feeling like we're greedy, feeling like we're not enough, feeling afraid of success. All of that has to do with money blocks. And of course, this is the Max Potential Habits podcast. So I like to focus on habits also, which is your actions around it. So I'm setting up my business model as really being a be, do, have model. So the be part is your mindset, the do part is your habits, and the have part is your vision. And in that vision, if you're here with me right now, it's to align with your most powerful, inspired self, so that you can create a wealthy life and business. And when I'm talking about wealth, I'm talking about genuine wealth, which is a holistic place of enhancing every area of your life, of feeling fulfilled in every area of your life, of creating success on your terms. What does it mean to you to be successful? What does it mean to you to wake up in the morning inspired to be alive? You know, when I end the podcast by saying, I hope you have an incredible week where you thrive and feel alive, it's going to happen if you are the person who is identifying as a person who masters yourself. So the be part. If you are being a wealthy entrepreneur, you attract more money your way. If you are being an incredible partner, you have an incredible relationship. If you are being a wealthy mindset person in the financial realm who works on your money blocks and wants to align with being financially abundant, you will have everything you want. And in this way, being a wealthy entrepreneur looks like you building a business that you love, using it as a wealth building vehicle, and getting out of bed, getting paid really well to do what you love every single day. And I'm really going to start kind of branding that NFA manifestation master, because I think manifestation is so freaking cool, and it's like having a magic wand. The more and more that I am learning about the science and art of it myself and teaching it to my people, the cooler and cooler my life gets, and so does theirs. And cooler meaning fulfilling, meaningful, inspired, magnetic, powerful, alive, fulfilling, all of those things. So that's why I do what I do. That's why I bring these tips and tools to you every week, because I want to help you train your mindset, heal your money blocks, align your habits so you can be a wealthy entrepreneur. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so let's get into today's jam. I'm going to talk to you about 6 tricks to magnetize more money your way. So let's start with number 1. For those of you who know me, you're not going to be surprised by what this one is. It's adopt the NFA attitude. Whew, yeah. So a NFA attitude is a no fucking around approach to life and business. It's this idea that you are radically responsible for your outcomes. It's that be, do, have model again, where you go, okay, who am I being? Who am I willing to show up as? Who am I allowing myself to be? How do I identify? What's my identity? And am I being the person that I need to be in order to have all the things I say I want to have? So am I being that person, and am I willing to do what it takes so that I can have all the things that I say I want? That's a radical responsibility approach, right? So you're focusing on your mindset, you're looking at your habits, and you know your vision, you know your why. And if you're not certain of what it is yet, you're willing to do the work to understand what it is. You are a person who will commit, decide, and take action. Commit, decide, and take action. That is a NFA attitude. And this radical responsibility piece is challenging for some people because it is your greatest gift to step out of victim mindset and know that you're radically responsible for your outcomes. And it's also a heavy burden. It can be, because if you don't like what's happening in your life, then you're the one that's responsible. It's like, oh shit. It's easier to blame people around you, but you lose all of your power when you blame other people for your reality. So in the NFA attitude, you are taking a radical responsibility approach to your life, your business, your relationships, your money reality, Every area of your life, you're going, okay, if I don't like what I'm seeing in my outer world, I know that my outer world is a reflection of my inner world. Start with your thoughts. So adopt the NFA attitude and start with committing, deciding, and taking action and believing in yourself. So we'll talk more about beliefs in a little bit. So number 2, understand the law of attraction. So I've been getting really into the law of attraction lately. It's so tied to being a manifestation master, right? So I've been reading, just devouring books and podcasts about the law of attraction and magnetism and manifestation. And I'm really intrigued by it because what I'm coming to understand is that, let's define it first. The definition, a simple one, is likes attract likes, and it's based on your vibration and your frequency. Okay, I'm not going to get too quantum physics here, or it's based on metaphysics and quantum physics, right? So it's this idea that we all have a vibrational frequency, and that we're projecting that out, whether we want to or not, and that other events and people will be drawn to us that are similar to that resonant frequency. So a lot of people have this idea that, oh, the law of attraction doesn't work because I say I want something, but I don't get it. Well, here's the thing. If your conscious belief is that you want something, but your unconscious belief is that you're scared of it, you're afraid of it, and this happens a lot in money world, you think, oh my God, I want to be rich, I want to be a multimillionaire, I want to have a business I love, but then your unconscious belief is, I'm not good enough, I don't know how to do it, I don't know if I deserve it, I think rich people are greedy jerks. You're not going to get there because more of your being is in a vibrational frequency of not believing that you are wealthy and abundant, or not believing that you even want to go in that direction. So if everything is in vibration and similar vibrational frequencies are drawn together, you have so much power to magnetize what you want to magnetize your way if you understand the principles of the law of attraction and you capitalize on it, right? So if you go, okay, everything's in a frequency and everything is being attracted to me based on what I believe to be true, either consciously or unconsciously, one of the best things that you can possibly do is to start to align your energies, to get congruent in your unconscious and conscious belief system, right? What you focus on expands. So if you're thinking about money in this way of like, I want more, but you're scared of the lack that you have currently, or you're hyper focused on your debt, you're going to get more debt, right? So if you're going, oh, I have to make $5,000 this month because I'm terrified that I have $10,000 of debt. What's really being focused on there is the lack of money coming your way and the debt. So you're getting more debt. So you've got to start to understand that your beliefs are a magnet, that your fears are a magnet, and you've got to start to do the work to shift them in a new direction. It's really powerful to understand that you can't compensate with action for what you're losing in misaligned energies. And this is in books that I've been reading, it's really powerful stuff to think about how our energy is actually so much more powerful than our action. But if you align both, then you are a brilliant money magnet. You are a supercharged, powerful money magnet. So for example, if you're going, okay, my belief system is aligned, I know that I can be wealthy. I think it's awesome to be wealthy. I love money and money loves me. And then I take action in that direction. You're a powerful money magnet, right? So your action actually aligns with your belief system, and you're going to be congruent, and you're going to attract more money your way more quickly. Similarly, think about examples where you see people who make a lot of money and it seems like they're not even working that hard, right? It's because they have the belief that that's possible. They believe the less you work, the more you make. I love this one because for me, my whole life, it's been one of my underlying competing commitment beliefs was that I had to work my ass off to make a lot of money. And the more that I play with this, the less I work, the more I make mantra, the more I'm like, oh, cool. And all these opportunities will come to me through refining my belief system and journaling and meditating and using affirmations, I will have opportunities come my way and I'm like, holy moly, this is like voodoo magic power. But the truth is, the law of attraction, it's a law, right? It's like, okay, let's say you don't believe in gravity. Well, too bad if you don't believe in gravity, it still exists. Law of attraction is the same. It's a universal law. Whether you believe in it or not, it's true. So understand the law of attraction and start to recognize when you're out of alignment. Okay, so number 3, install money magnet beliefs. So of course this goes along with adopt the NFA attitude in number 1, and in number 2, understand the law of attraction. In number 3, install money magnet beliefs. So this is where competing commitments come in, and it's really important. And if you haven't listened yet to the episode on competing commitments, go back and listen to it. It talks about exactly this. What it really comes down to is that you've got to start to examine your belief system so you can debug your shitty money stories. And when I say shitty, I mean limiting, disempowering, repellent. Those are the money stories that you want to start to bring into your conscious awareness and debug so that you can install new money magnet beliefs. So an easy way to start on this journey of doing this is to start just questioning, what do I believe about wealthy people? What do I believe about wealth in general? What have I seen in the movies about wealthy people? If you start analyzing the movies, it's really wild to watch how it's usually the people in the movies who are demonized are wealthy. They're corrupt, they're greedy, they're bad. There's, it's like this really intense message that we get from our cultural downloads about what it means to be wealthy. And then we get these messages and downloads from our parents, our friends, our partners, our work relationships. It's all over the place. Church. There's so many different ways that we get what I call a money OS. So it turns into our money operating system with these downloads that are sometimes conscious, but usually unconscious. And they start really young. When you're little, you start soaking them up like a sponge. And if you don't start to get conscious about what those are, it's hard for you to become a really powerful money magnet because you're going to have competing commitments. Your conscious part of you is going to believe you want wealth, and your unconscious parts of you might believe that you're not good enough for it, you don't deserve it. Wealthy people are greedy and evil and bad and wrong. If I have a lot of wealth, other people will suffer. There's so many money myths that we start to buy into, and I want you to know it's a myth. Money is neutral. Money amplifies who you already are or what you want to do with it. Money gives you a greater power to have greater impact, to help more people. So if you think the world is going to hell in a handbasket and we need to save a whole bunch of people, well, get wealthy, because if you're poor, you can't help anyone else. So, start to challenge your belief system around money and start to use affirmations. So I freaking love affirmations. I use them all the time. They're very, very, very powerful. And it's something that I've done to train my mindset in the direction of being a money magnet. I had to start to I decided I want to recreate myself to be a person who is aligned with wealth building. I shifted my value system and I started focusing avidly on wealth building. I listened to podcasts, watched YouTube, read tons of books. And to this day, that is my number one study. And it's because I haven't fulfilled it all the way, right? Like I have a 6-figure business, but it's still volatile and up and down and not super consistent yet. It's getting there. And as I do more of this work, it's getting more and more and more consistent. But I want to build to $1 million a year plus business. At some point, I have the vision of going to a $10 million a year business. And so with that, I've got to keep affirming in the direction of that happening. I can't tell myself I'm not good enough. If I do, I won't get there. And so anytime I start to have that doubt, I'm human. And of course those doubts come in. I train my brain in a different direction. I go, okay, how can I move in the direction of being magnetic to be a powerful businesswoman who is a multi-millionaire businesswoman? I mean, like, how awesome is that? And I believe it. I know it. I already am a powerful businesswoman. It's already happened, right? And I want you to believe that for yourself. If you're in a stuck place thinking, any of these negative thoughts and buying into these myths that I've been talking to you about. Start to retrain yourself in a new direction, because you can be wildly wealthy. You can be a powerful money magnet if you choose to. You can do it. I've seen lots of people do it. I've done it. There's stories of people going from being homeless all the way to billionaires. I mean, it's possible. So is it possible for you? Well, that's up to you if you want to start taking these steps in these directions that I'm helping you with. A great affirmation, my affirmation for this week, I'm looking at my board over here, so the sound might change a little bit. I am energetic, inspired, and alive. I am ready and willing to give and receive the abundance of love and money that flows my way from every direction. I'll say it again. I am energetic, inspired, and alive. I am ready and willing to give and receive the abundance of love and money that flows my way from every direction. So in that affirmation, there's an I am statement, right? It's all moving in the direction I want to go. It's helping me with the law of attraction by focusing on what I want to focus on instead of any lack or fear or doubt. There's no negatives in there. So I'm not saying I am not scared. I'm saying I am alive, inspired, energetic, right? And I'm allowing money to flow my way. So come up with some awesome mantras for yourself. And, you can call them mantras, declarations, affirmations, whatever you want. What it really is it's training your brain, your mindset, your it's creating new neural pathways in the direction of the paths of least resistance towards what you want, instead of the automatic buy-in to negativity. So you've got to train your brain to go this direction first. It doesn't just happen automatically. People don't just wake up positive. We actually wake up under the negativity bias because it's a survival strategy, right? If we're always tracking for negative, we can stay safe. So you've actually got to train your brain in the direction of positivity, of flow in the direction that you want to go, of appreciation, of gratitude. So that's how you're going to start to install money magnet beliefs. Okay. Number 4, look for money everywhere. I love this one because what you focus on expands, right? You've heard me say that a million times. So what you focus on expands, and your inner world is a reflection of your outer world. So if you're looking for validation from the universe that money is everywhere, it means you're looking for money everywhere. Instead of believing that there's a lack and not seeing it, you're looking for money everywhere. And what this really is confirmation bias. So we have a really powerful confirmation bias. And what, a practical example of that is like, I had this happen when I bought my first, I bought a car, 5 years ago when I was in grad school. My minivan was breaking down, like leaking everywhere. Oh boy, those days. Oh, it was awful. So awful. I went to the car dealership and what I looked up when I wanted to get a new car was like, what is the most reliable, cheapest, longest lasting car? Because I was like, okay, I have 5 years of grad school left. I got to get through grad school. I got to be able to drive my kids around, but I can't have a high car payment because I had to take a loan out. Obviously I was making barely any money. And so I looked that up and a Honda CR-V came up and I was like, cool. And I found one. It was, I don't need to go through the whole story. I negotiated powerfully and I walked out of there by trading in my shitty breaking down van that was leaking literally in their parking lot everywhere. I traded it in and I had $5,000 to work with. That was all I had. They said, we'll give you a $5,000 loan. So I ended up walking out with $5,000 loan on this car, and that car was so awesome. But the point of this story and confirmation bias is that before then, I'm not a car person, so I didn't really know what a Honda CR-V looked like, which is funny because if you have ever been to Boulder, Colorado, you see them everywhere. But because I'm not really a car person and it wasn't my focus, I didn't even know what they looked like. And then all of a sudden, when I bought this car, my son and I started playing a game where we had this point system going for every Honda CR-V that we saw, because it was 75 every time I would drive him to school. And so I had never even noticed them before. So that's confirmation bias, right? Now, because I was focusing on that, and it attuned my radar to seeing them, then I saw it everywhere. So this is similar. When you're thinking about looking for money everywhere, you're starting to look for opportunities everywhere. You're starting to open your entrepreneurial mindset in the direction of like, where do I see opportunity? And so one of my mantras is always, I am a millionaire money magnet. Everything I touch turns to gold. Opportunity is everywhere. Opportunity flows to me day and night. Opportunity is in every email, like that kind of thing. And it's like, how many places can you see opportunity? And this starts by you looking for money everywhere. And this starts even with you picking up a penny on the sidewalk. Like, don't ever walk by money. That's the universe giving you little beautiful breadcrumbs, nuggets of gold along the way. So I was reading a money magnetism book one day, and that was one of the exercises was look for money everywhere. And I was like, okay, cool. But I wasn't leaving my house. And I think I've said this story before on a money podcast, but I'll just repeat it for those of you who haven't heard it. I was sitting on my couch and I was like, well, crap, I'm not leaving my house today. I'm working from home all day. I just cleaned my closets, and like, I don't know where I'm going to find even $5 like in a pocket or something. And all of a sudden I had this thought. I was like, oh, I haven't checked my Venmo account in a while. And I opened it up, and there was a couple hundred, I can't remember the number at this moment. It was a couple $100 in my Venmo account that had been sitting there for weeks that I had just forgotten that someone paid me. And I was like, yeah, I'm a money magnet. So that's what I'm talking about. Start looking for money everywhere. And it might show up in ways where you get a larger tax refund than you thought. It might show up where you go up to the cash register and they didn't have it marked down, but when you get there, it's half the price that it was stated to be. And you're like, cool, I'm a money magnet. I find money everywhere. Opportunity flows to me everywhere. So I want you to start focusing on looking for money everywhere and confirming that the universe supports you in bringing you money because you are a millionaire money magnet. Okay, number 5, open a money magnet account. So this comes from my very first money book I read was from one of my main mentors, Dr. John DeMartini, and it's called How to Make One Hell of a Profit and Still Get to Heaven. And a lot of it, of course, is based on that idea that most people think that you can't be rich and get to heaven, based on the biblical verses that talk about it being harder to get into heaven than a camel walking through the eye of a needle, and the misinterpretations of that and all this stuff. But this book gives a lot of practical strategies, and one of them was to open an account where you keep putting, he doesn't call it a money magnet account, I call it that, but it was this idea of turning away your mindset from it being an emergency account toward a money magnet account. Because if you're having an emergency account, you're focusing on that you're going to have an emergency that you're going to need to spend that money on. And so I called it a money magnet account. And so, and that you put 10% of every single penny you earn into this money magnet account, and then it attracts more money. And the reason for this is because you're signaling to the universe that you're responsible with money. And what you appreciate appreciates. So if you're appreciating money, it means you're taking care of money. You're focusing on it. You're spending time with it. You're aware of it. You're tracking it. You're wanting to grow it. You're wanting to nurture it. That's you appreciating money. So when you do that, it signals that you are responsible for more money to come your way. You think about this with like kids. Let's say you have kids and you give them a little bit of responsibility, or let's say you have 2 kids and you give them, you up level their responsibility, and one kid does really amazing with it. They're like, okay, awesome. And they get great grades, and they're on time, and they, do their chores, and the other kid doesn't. Well, which kid, when they come to you and say, hey, can I borrow your Mercedes for prom night? Which kid are you more likely to say yes to? We all know the answer, right? So it's funny to think about, but it's the universe is doing the same thing. It's like, okay, whoever appreciates money, we're going to give you more flow of money because you appreciate and value it and you're responsible with it. So be responsible with your money. Create a money magnet account. Start putting 10% in. I don't care if you make $20 a freaking week, put $2 in that account. And that's what I did when I started. Seriously, I made $1,800 a month, and I started putting $180 a month into my account. And it has grown and grown and grown and grown. And it's so fun to watch. And I don't touch that account. Like it is my money magnet account. It sits there and just grows money and magnetizes money to it. It's awesome. Number 6, create a money map. Okay, so what a money map is it's you signaling clarity to the universe that you have a plan for the money that's going to come your way. So if you don't have a plan for $1 million, why would you get $1 million? Doesn't make sense, right? The universe is looking again for you to be responsible and to magnetize money your way, because what you appreciate appreciates, and what you focus on expands, and likes attract likes. So if you go, oh, I have a really clear vision of what I want to spend $1 million on, and this spending could be you investing. It could be savings. It could be reinvesting in your business. It could be going on vacation, all those things. I want you to start to create a really clear path and plan for your money. What this does is it gets you emotionally connected to the desire of bringing money your way, and it signals to the universe that you have a plan for it, so it's more likely it will send money your way, right? It makes the path of least resistance less resistant. So you end up attracting money toward the plan, right? So think about it in these simple ways where, let's say you have a trip you want to go on, it's really easy for you to come up with the money, because it's one of the easiest things most people will come up with the money for, because it's something they really, really want, and they have a very clear plan, right? They go, oh, the hotel, it's all concrete. The hotel I can get online and I can see the cost of the hotel. I know the cost of the plane tickets. I know how much it is going to be to go, to whatever fun activities we want to go there. And so people create a budget and they create a plan, and then it happens pretty fast. So you can do the exact same thing with bigger numbers, but you need to create a plan. So if it's $1 million, get really clear. How much taxes are you going to pay on $1 million? How much savings are you going to create? How are you going to pay off your car or your student loans? Are you going to give some of that? How much of that money are you going to give to charity if that's something that you do? What are you going to do to invest in the future of your business? How much of that is going to be spent on investing in yourself with coaching or personal development and growth books? All of that, like, create a money map that's so clear that the universe goes, awesome, okay, now I have a really clear path to give this to you. So I love doing that. It's a really fun activity to create a money map. It gets your desires going. It gets you focusing in the direction that you want to be flowing instead of on the lack. It gets you going in the direction of like, ooh, what would I do? And if $1 million is too much for you, start with an increase of wherever you are currently. And, you can go with not stretching it so far that it just seems so fantastical. For me, $1 million seems very likely, it is absolutely going to happen. It seems very realistic to me. It's not like a pie in the sky dream anymore. So I can do $1 million map. If you ask me to do a $10 million map, I'm not quite there yet. So I start with $1 million. It used to be for me starting with $50,000. When I finished my PhD program and I started coaching, I had on my goals to make $4,000 a month with my coaching. And that was huge to me, like huge. So at that time, it would have made sense for me to make a $48,000 money map, right? Now I've up leveled, and I made a $100,000 one. Now I'm making $1 million money map. So just start with wherever you are. That's a stretch, but conceivably possible to you. It doesn't feel like a super pie in the sky fantasy. Do it where you're like, okay, that's a stretch, but that's really what would be powerful and amazing for me. Maybe it's a doubling of your income or a 25% increase or something along those lines. But just start moving in that direction. Start playing with this and seeing how fun it is to become more magnetic with your money. Whew. Okay, so I'm going to recap. So number 1, adopt the NFA attitude. Number 2, understand the law of attraction. Number 3, install money magnet beliefs. Number 4, look for money everywhere. Number 5, open a money magnet account. And number 6, create a money map. And for those of you who are still here, be sure to go to my website and download the Money Magnet Guide. It's got a lot of this written down a little bit differently. I always mix things up some, but it's got a very clear 3-step guide to help you. And it's the steps I took to go from food stamps to 6 figures. And it's like a 4-page document. So it's big, quick wins, and it's awesome. So if you go to nfacoaching.com, it's on the homepage there. It's on the podcast page. It's in multiple places, and it'll also be in the show note links. So lots of places to get it. And then don't forget to sign up for the raffle by emailing mpHraffle@nfacoaching.com with a screenshot of your review and of the podcast, a written review, 5-star rating. That would be so freaking awesome. I am beyond grateful that you're here. I love sharing this information with you, these tricks to help you get where you want to go faster. There is nothing better to me than when people contact me and reach out and say like, oh my God, Amanda, what you shared changed my reality. This one tidbit really helped me see something differently. Wow, I feel so much more powerful. I feel less self-doubt, less fear. Those are the things that I am driven for, that really get me going. So thank you for listening each and every week. Share this with people, and I will be back again soon. I hope you have an incredible, fulfilling, meaningful, max potential week where you thrive and feel alive. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of the Max Potential Habits podcast. If you're liking what you've heard, it would be so incredibly awesome if you would subscribe to the channel and leave a 5-star rating and a written review. This helps me help more people while we grow our NFA community so we can rock it out together. For Max Potential Habits resources, go to nfacoaching.com where you can access all of my resources. There's free ebooks, PDF checklists, a journal template, a business mindset meditation kit, and so much more. Plus, links to NFA coaching on Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. And if you're super serious about up-leveling, there's also a link to schedule a free consult to work with me in group or one-on-one coaching. Until next time, I hope you have a Max Potential Habits Day where you get inspired to do whatever it takes to transform into the most empowered version of yourself so you can lead a rich, thriving, kick-ass life and business.